Hello, in this video I'm going to teach you the electric guitar parts for EMU music's In His Name. Okay, let's start by looking at the introduction. Now the first time through the chord progression it's just the acoustic, but the second time in, the lead guitar comes in starting at fret 14 on the high E string, to 12, to 11, to 9, and then it's 9, 11, 9, 7. So let's do that with the backing track. Okay, and here we go. Now let's talk about the verse. There's a few different things that the guitarist plays during the verse, but the one thing that all verses have in common is that you want to sit out the first half. And then the second half of the verse, you come in. The first time there's something a little bit like this. And later on, there's something like this. Which plays through twice. And while that plays, there's also something happening higher, which sounds like this. So let me come a little bit closer and show you those different parts. So that initial part that I showed you, it starts off by picking between 12 on the B and 14 on the E. And then it kind of just rests for a bit, and then it goes down to 11, 14, and then back to the 12 and 14. So I'll show you that with the backing track later. The other part that I showed you, it's a chord to start with, so 13 on G, 12 on B, 11 on E, then let it ring out, and then a pull off, 12 on the E to 11, and then 12 on the B before 11 on the G, and then you want to play a chord which is 11 on the G, 11 on the B, 14 on the E. And then the high part that plays when that part plays is way up at 19. So you want 19 on the B and E. And then you're going to take it down to 17, 19. Back to 19, 19. And then 19, 18. So let me play that with a backing track and then hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense. So sit this first part out. I'm about to come in. So that's the first kind of thing you can play. Okay, now in the second verse, this is what you can do. Just wait for it. And here we go. Now don't forget there is a second part that you can play which goes like this. Now let's have a chat at what happens in some of the lead breaks that occur between verses and into the chorus. So one thing that happens is that the guitar plays that same thing that I showed you really high up on the 19th fret. And while that happens, there's a harmony being played going. And that goes through twice. So that's one thing that plays between verses and into the chorus. And the other thing is a bit of an arpeggio thing that goes. So let me show you how you can play those two things as well. Okay, so option 1 there, we've got the 12th fret on the B and the 14th on the E. And then you want to go to 12, 12, and back to 12, 14, and then just 11, 14. So and the second thing you can play is basically like the bottom part of a B bar chord. So that's what is that, 8, 7, 7, and then you put your third finger here to make it 9, 7, 7. Back to the first one, and then you want, which is basically like a D shape, where you have 6, 7, 6. So let's do that with a backing track. I'll do option 1, then option 2. Now the last part of the song that we have to talk about is the chorus. Now in the chorus you really just want to play some chords. You can ring them out. So I think in the recording there's one guitar ringing it out and another guitar doing the strumming. So I'm going to show you the shapes that I'll play in order to go through the chorus chords. So we start on a B. Now all of these chords I'm just going to play with 3 notes, and I'm going to play on the D, G and B. So for the B chord, I've got fret 9, 8, 7. Then I'm going to put my pinky down so that I've got 9, 9, 7. And that's for the E chord, and then I'm going to take it off again to play that B, and then that's the F sharp, and I've got the, 8 on the D, 6 on the G, and 7 on the B. So that's the first part. And then you want, instead of starting on B the next, I think the next 3 times, you start on a G sharp minor. So you want 9, 8, 9. And then it's going to go to that E chord again. B, F sharp, G sharp minor, E, B, F sharp. And then the last time though, it goes from the G sharp minor to the E to the F sharp, and then it finishes on a B. Now if you're not comfortable doing those chord shapes, there's a simple solution. You can pop your capo on 4th fret, and then you can play a G chord, a C add 9, G, D, then E minor, C add 9, G, D, like that. Alright, so let's give that a go with the backing track. So those are the lead guitar parts for EMU Music's In His Name. Thanks for watching.